Thank you for joining us this morning as we celebrate the graduation of Detention Officer Basic Class 22C-102. My name is Chuck Bain, and it is my honor to serve both as the director of the Academy and your MC for today's ceremony. Just as an advisement, we are recording today's ceremony, and we're posting the recording on our social media for viewing by those who were not able to join us here in person today. Now that number, 22C-102, does have some meaning. 22 is obviously the year. C indicates it's the third and final Detention Officer Basic of 2022, and 102 denotes that this class is the 102nd graduating Detention Officer Basic from our Academy. This ceremony is steeped in history and tradition. Veteran detention officers who began their careers in Wyoming and who have graduated from our Academy have shared the same sense of accomplishment and perhaps even the relief felt by today's graduates. Detention Officer Basic Training graduation marks a time of transition for these officers as they begin their careers in the field of detention. This transition takes them from individual contributors to public servants who must focus now on others. This transition process is not easy. 31 students started this basic class. 22 graduate today. These men and women have every right to be proud of their hard work and accomplishments necessary to complete this basic training course. But this ceremony is not just about the graduates. It is also an expression of thanks to their families and administrators who have supported them during their absence. So we welcome audience participation in today's ceremonies. Any yells or cheers as we celebrate the success of these students. It is more than appropriate to share in the overwhelming pride, honor, and joy that will be felt within this room today. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and welcome Detention Officer Basic Class 22C 102. Class, please come forward. Please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation. The class has selected their classmates who are military veterans to lead us in the pledge. Veterans? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're pleased to have Tim Ricker, a member and past president of the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, with us to deliver today's invocation. Chaplain Ricker.
Please bow in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessing of another graduation and for those who are graduating. I pray that you go with them as they return to their families, loved ones, and the community they belong to. Please protect them and reward them for their commitment to serving their fellow man. Thank you for this institution of higher learning, for each one who labors here to furnish and equip students to serve and to protect all of us. I pray that you also watch over them and bless them for their labors. And thank you for all those family members, loved ones, and friends who support these graduates. Please watch over them and protect them as well. And last but not least, thank you, Lord, for the country we live in. I pray that you draw our hearts to you and lead us in paths of righteousness for thy name's sake. God bless America. I pray all this in Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please allow me a moment to introduce a few of the people that are joining us today. Just to my right, I'll introduce the first gentleman here in just a minute. You've already met Pastor Ricker. Next to him is Jesse Curtis, our Deputy Director. And next to him is Kurt Taboga, our Training Manager. No organization can or would be successful without support from behind the scenes, and our Academy is no exception. Our staff members are what make this basic training possible and highly effective. As I speak, 3 of our most vital sections still remain at work elsewhere in our facility. It is their collective efforts that contribute and ensure the quality of today's ceremony. These sections include our food service, the custodial, and maintenance staff. They can't join us here this morning, but would you please join me in a round of applause thanking them for their work. Our office section is known for its dedication and efficiency. Without them, we could not accomplish our mission. Could I ask the members of the office team that are with us today to please stand and be recognized? The last section that is here and part of today's ceremony is our instructional staff. Now, whatever you may have heard about this group, I know that their pride, enthusiasm, and dedication to their students, that they serve as team leaders, coaches, and coordinators, are second to none. Instructional staff, please stand and be recognized. Now, at this point in the ceremony, I would like to ask those county sheriffs who are attending the ceremony today to please stand and be recognized. It is not an easy feat as an administrator to clear a busy schedule and personally attend their deputy's graduation. Thank you for your support of these students and your support of the Academy. And finally, I would like to give recognition to department's command staff, middle managers, first-line supervisors, and law enforcement coworkers in our audience today. Everyone representing a law enforcement agency, please stand. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today's ceremony. He started his law enforcement career with the Saratoga Police Department in 1978 and worked there for 2 years. That was followed with part-time at Medicine Bow Police Department, followed by working as a state park ranger in Hot Springs State Park. In 1989, he began working at the Washakie County Sheriff's Office and served as a patrol deputy and firearms instructor. In 1994, he worked for the Worland Police Department and attained the rank of sergeant, served as an investigator, SWAT team commander, and field training officer. In 2006, he was appointed as the sheriff of Washakie County and was elected to that position in 2007, where he continues to serve. As I understand it, he will complete his service as sheriff in January 2023. Alongside his service to law enforcement, he is also a military veteran, serving in both the Wyoming and Colorado Army National Guard. He completed OCS training in 1979 and was commissioned a second lieutenant. From 1982 to 1998, he was assigned to the 5th Special Forces Battalion and 19th Special Forces Airborne Group. As a senior parachutist and weapons specialist, he was deployed to numerous foreign countries. Despite his role as sheriff of Washakie County, he is also past president of the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, and particularly meaningful to me, he is a long-standing member of the Academy's Detention Training Advisory Board, and I have greatly appreciated his insight and advice. It is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker from the Washakie County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Steve Rackness.
Good morning. Seeing if you guys are awake. I know the sheriffs are because they're sitting over here in the corner not wanting to be involved in anything. So, students, family, honored guests, administrators, co-workers, and Academy staff. I would like to thank Director Bain and Mr. Tobago and the Academy for giving me this opportunity to speak to you, the class of DOB 2022 C102 graduation ceremony today. I consider this an honor and a privilege to talk to you today. I'll try to make sure that my speech is directed at you, but they got the podium kind of directed it this way. So, detention class 2022 C102, you're done. How's it feel? Feels good, doesn't it? Feels good, doesn't it? Yes. And I will also tell you that Mr. Tobago said, get in, get out, okay, for my speech. So I won't belabor you with a long talk today. So, I know you're all wanting to get out of here, and I know you've been cooped up at the academy, so I bet you guys really are excited to get out of here. I know I was. I spent a lot of time at this academy. I'm still coming back. So, anyway, as you leave here today and go back to your sheriff's offices and detention centers, there's one thing to remember: you will make a difference. Something that you will always be able to do in this line of work. You can ask the people sitting out there if that happens. You may never see that now, and you may never know it in your career if you made a difference to anyone or yourself or your family. But you did by being here today, and you will out doing your jobs. I want you to look across the stands, across the gym today, and look at the stands. See those folks out there? See all those folks out there? They're your families, your wives, your children, your friends, your coworkers, and administrators. They're here for you because they know sometime during your career you'll make a difference in someone's life, and I can guarantee you that will happen. Over time, you'll be immersed in your career. You'll be engaged with family events and personal battles that we all face every day. And you will have interaction, and you will have interacted with many people over that time period, be they coworkers, victims, suspects, inmates, or other folks you meet just on a daily basis in the course of your day as you go about your duties. You will not know by your actions who you influenced, because no one may never allude that to you. The impacts on those folks are something as simple as like an honest answer to a question. And in a detention center setting, you'll be answering a lot of questions, I guarantee you. You'll have to give somebody a stern warning. And you might have to give a comforting hug in a time of sorrow. Those times will happen, and those things will happen, I guarantee you. In the detention center, you will encounter all of these things and more. When folks reach that point and they're in jail, a good portion of them are at the end of some trying event or experience, and they can't cope with what's going on and don't care. That's why they're in jail. And you're going to have to deal with it. So, being firm and fair, following your policies and procedures, and being able to explain those issues will allow them to understand what you need from them. And that will be important in the detention setting. In that time, if you made your point clear, they will comply with your requests and directives, and sometime later, they may thank you for helping them understand. And so you made a small difference in that person's life, maybe just once. And you will have to do that in a detention setting. You guys came to the academy here. It's pretty sterile. When you get up into the detention centers, you're going to have to make a lot of decisions. And your verbal judo skills are going to be one of those things. You'll make a difference in those folks' lives, though you may never know it. But I believe the biggest reason for being in law enforcement is, in the end, when you retire and are sitting around with your family and wife and grandkids, which we all aspire to do, you'll talk about the years past and recall the good things you did, the missions you accomplished, the people you helped, the friends you made, or maybe a life you saved. You will have made a difference in those lives, and you will have made a difference in your life. And one day, you'll be walking down the street, or usually in Walmart, that happens to me. Somebody will come up and say to you, "Hey, you helped me out one day. Thank you. Or you'll be at random places, and I was in Encampment, Wyoming this last week for an event, and I had a person do just this to me. Hey, I know you don't remember me, but I appreciate you helped me when I was down. Thank you. That one moment in time is what it's all about. You made a difference in that person's life. It will happen to you because it happened to me, because that very person came up to me and said, you don't know me, but I know a person who knows you, and they talk about you all the time. Now, this didn't happen when I was sheriff, of course, but so that person now is a successful person working at a shift supervisor at the Coors Brewery in Golden, Colorado. So just remember that as you go about your daily duties. Now, I have to tell you, being in detention isn't that glamorous, but you do have an important job, and your sheriffs up there, I know, and your supervisors are counting on you to do that job respectfully and faithfully, because it's a hard job. In Wyoming, that's what we're entrusted with, is to operate a detention facility. So, go for it. The sky's the limit. Work hard, enjoy your life, love your family, and make a difference, because it will come back, and you'll find out about it later in life. Your family, your friends, and your administrators are looking at you to do just that. Impart your knowledge and experience to them. Help them, and be a successful person. Only you guys can do that. So, and most of all, when you guys get out there, stay safe out there. I appreciate this opportunity, Mr. Bain, the Academy, to speak to you all, and Godspeed to you all when you go out in your new careers. And congratulations to the DOB Class 2022 C102. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff, for your words and being with us today. As usual, there are individuals within a class who go above and beyond what is asked of them. At this time, we want to give recognition to those officers who achieve distinction in this basic course. Instructor Steve Miller, would you please come forward to present the Physical Fitness Award?
Thank you, Director Bain. During basic training, the students attend 36 hours of fitness instruction. These training sessions include aerobic, anaerobic, and core strength building circuit training. They're also involved in student-led PT sessions, which they design and lead themselves. The students are tested physically from the moment they arrive until their final PT assessment. Each assessment includes their maximum number of push-ups, sit-ups in 1 minute, as well as their time for a 1.5-mile run. The top PT award goes to the student who has the highest cumulative percentile score during the final PT assessment based on their age and gender. The Physical Fitness Award winner completed the following: 59 sit-ups in 60 seconds, 62 push-ups in 60 seconds, and a 1.5-mile run in 10 minutes and 4 seconds. The Physical Fitness Award for Detention Officer Basic 22 Charles 102 goes to Deputy Taryn Shortino from Park County Sheriff's Office. And Mr. Rippey, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excelled in firearms?
Thank you, Mr. Miller. To prepare for final proficiency scores, Detention Officer Basic students shoot approximately 1,000 handgun rounds at distances of 3 to 15 yards. In order for a student to achieve certification, they must shoot a minimum proficiency score of 80% with their handgun. The WLEA Top Gun Award is given in recognition of an individual's outstanding performance and dedication to firearms excellence. The top shooter in this class shot 100% with their handgun. The WLEA Top Gun Award for Detention Officer Basic 22C 102 goes to Deputy Wooster from the Goshen County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Millick, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excelled in academics?
Thank you, Mr. Rippey. The students are tested continuously as they progress their basic training. They must meet established minimum requirements in order to receive their certificate of successful completion. Specifically, they must pass 5 examinations worth a total of 689 points. The top academic award goes to that student who achieved the highest academic cumulative average throughout the Detention Officer Basic. The top academic student in this class had an average of 89.7% over the course of basic training. Out of 689 total points available, this officer scored 618. The academic award for Detention Officer Basic 22C 102 goes to Deputy Garrick Lozier from the Sublette County Sheriff's Office. Each class elects a spokesperson to represent their class at graduation to share their collective thoughts and experiences from the training. Classes may also choose to complete a class project. At this time, I'd like to invite up Project Coordinator, Deputy Michael Flores from the Albany County Sheriff's Office, and class speaker, Deputy Hunter Schramm from the Laramie County Sheriff's Office.
So this year we decided to donate some cornhole boards. We did a thin blue line flag as our background theme for the boards. There's some nights here where it's like you just need a break, and I feel like future classes can benefit from that, because there was nights here where I was like, just need a break. Wish we had something like that,
First off, I just want to say thank you all for coming today to celebrate the graduating class of DOB 22C102. Failure. It's probably not a word you would be expecting me to say at our graduation, considering we are here to congratulate our successful completion of the academy. However, failure has played a huge part in it. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail." Think about that for a moment. Do we ever succeed if we've never failed along the way? Our instructors used this word multiple times during our stay here, and they taught us how to properly fail here and learn from our mistakes so we can better succeed out there, which is really important when you take into consideration our line of work. One of the deputies even quoted, "We never took failure as failure, we took it as a lesson and persevered from it." To overcome our failures requires the determination, integrity to learn from it and move on, which this class has definitely displayed throughout our time here. There's a particular aspect about being a law enforcement officer, and it's a similar type of mindset the majority of us have. Most of us have never met one another before, but before coming here, but by the time we got here in the first week, it felt like I knew most of you my entire life, which is something to be said about. There's a saying among us officers, and it's, "I am my brother's keeper," which to some of you might not mean a whole lot, but to us sitting here in this room and anyone serving under the badge, it is more than a couple of words wrote on a piece of paper. It's a mindset, it's a mutual agreement that when I get knocked down, no matter the situation, I can trust that I'll have multiple brothers and sisters there to pick me back up and carry on the fight, because we are family, we are battle buddies, and we are our brother's keeper. The graduates you see in this room today have worked very hard to be sitting right here with you. There were days when we were outside in 100-degree weather for hours on end, or days at that point, And we were rolling around on the mats until we couldn't tell which way was up or down, or there was even days when we studied the same materials over and over again that led us to eventually using and acting out with the materials and using our body parts just to pass our exam. So. However, the whole time, no one gave up, no one quit, and everybody had a great attitude. You know what that takes? Integrity, determination, and the will to succeed, and a high moral character. There's a group of people I've yet to mention that helped make today possible, and it's a group sitting right in front of me. The parents, the spouses, the children, and even the friends that stand behind us, that push us to succeed, that give us a reason to keep fighting through the days, and give us something that we can come home to at the end of our shift, whomever they may be. You are all part of law enforcement community. You're the reason we work so hard. You are the reason we work to make the community a safer place, and you're the hands on our backs pushing us forward. Thank you. Finally, to the graduating class, I'm very excited to see where your futures go and where this career takes you. And I hope you remember the lessons taught here, the great moments spent, and never give up. With that, I'll leave you with the final quote from Thomas Edison. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Thank you.
Thank you, class, for your project and donation to the classes that are coming after you. And thank you, Deputy Schramm, for your remarks on behalf of your class. And now to our final award. In every class, there is a student who is willing to distinguish themselves by their exemplary work and efforts. They strive to become the best of the best within this class and their chosen profession. As a form of recognition for the one student who continually performed to the best of their abilities, the Academy has established the Honor Graduate Award. Mr. Taboga and Mr. Smith, would you please come forward to give recognition to those students nominated and present the Honor Graduate Award?
Thank you, Director Bain. The Honor Grad Award is the highest honor the Academy presents to a student graduating from a Wyoming Law Enforcement Basic Course. In order to be eligible to receive this award, a student must be nominated by a member of the instructional staff. It is not a popularity contest, and it is an honor just to be nominated. Once the officer is nominated, a very comprehensive and objective point system is used to assess the nominee's performance while attending the basic. The specific areas evaluated are the student's academic scores, proficiency in firearms, custody control, and physical fitness. In addition, students are assessed in the following 6 areas of professional: citizenship, leadership, effort, cooperation, initiative, attitude, and improvement. In alphabetical order, will the following officers please come forward and receive your merit award in recognition of your nomination? From Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Miklo Cruz. From Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Kimberly Larson. The Honor Graduate Award recognizes the one student in each basic class who exemplifies all the attributes of a professional detention officer and who performed exceptionally in all phases of training. In addition to receiving a plaque and with the intent to encourage the recipient beyond today's recognition, the Honor Graduate will receive a $500 gift scholarship for any advanced training offered here at the WLEA. It is a long-standing tradition that the audience stand while the Honor Grad Award is presented, so would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, the Honor Graduate Award for Detention Officer Basic 22C 102 goes to Kimberly Larson from Albany County Sheriff's Office. At this time, we will award the graduation certificates.
All of the staff at WLAA congratulate you, Detention Officer Basic 22C 102, for completing your basic training. We started this journey just a few short weeks ago, and today we have arrived. On behalf of the class and Academy staff, we would like to thank the many Wyoming law enforcement agencies and associations across the state who partner with us to provide the best training possible so that these new officers will have what they need to do their jobs competently, reasonably, and safely. The Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, the Wyoming Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission, the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association are a few of the many who regularly devote expertise, financial assistance, and manpower to assist us in accomplishing our mission. And we thank you. The Academy would also like to recognize the families of these men and women who themselves willingly sacrifice in many unseen ways so that their loved one can protect their community. These officers cannot do what they do without you. We know that you have taken care of things these last several weeks so your loved one could be here and study their craft. The Academy thanks you for your sacrifice, and we appreciate you. Detention Officer Basic 22C 102, you have spent the last several weeks constantly engaged in activities that forced you to learn, apply, and creatively adapt the basic concepts, principles, and tactics of a law enforcement detention professional in order to achieve functional outcomes. At the same time, we have immersed you in a culture that demands initiative, resolve, accountability, and integrity, which is the same environment you're now returning to work in. You are here today because you've demonstrated a basic level of functionality in the 5 core competencies we measure, which in and of itself is an achievement to be celebrated. Our challenge to you now is to continue learning, continue practicing, and continue striving to become a masterful detention officer. For this is the expectation that both your agency and your communities have of you. Director Bain, I recommend the awarding of certificates of successful completion for the Wyoming P.O.S.T approved 298-hour Detention Officer Basic Course, 22C 102. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready, please feel free to come down and take pictures if you wish as your loved one comes through. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Samuel D. Boyles. We are fortunate to have several special presenters with us today. These people are family members of a graduate who themselves are currently serving or have served in law enforcement. Our first special presenter has served as a deputy with the Natrona County Sheriff's Office for 17 years and is herself a second-generation officer. Here to present her daughter's certificate, please help me welcome Deputy Ashley Buchanan. And from the Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hallie L. Buchanan. Our next special presenter has served with the Sheridan County Sheriff's Office for 2 years. He is here to present his fiancee's certificate. Please help me welcome Deputy Kenneth Damon, Jr. And from the Sheridan County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Loretta K. Burris. From the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Trevor R. Christensen. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Miklo X. Cruz. From the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Michael J. Flores.
We'll keep him here all day if we need to.
From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Matthew G. Kelly. Our next special presenter has served as a corrections officer with the Colorado Department of Corrections for 5 years. Here to present his daughter's certificate, please help me welcome Sergeant Brian Coons. And from the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Allie C. Coons. From the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Kimberly S. Larson. From the Sublette County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Garrett W. Lozier. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jason A. McIntyre. From the Washakie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Augustus M. Pentelis. From the Teton County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Stephen M. Ryan. Our final special presenter has served with the Fremont County Sheriff's Office for 22 years. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome Lieutenant John Zerga. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy David J. Ruff. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hunter T. Schramm. From the Park County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Taryn M. Shortino. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Robert T. Shirley.
Ain't going to work till you tell me. You ready? Got it?
From the Uintah County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Andrew J. Skillen. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Ryan M. Tyler. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy David M. Wagner. From the Uena County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Alexis M. Walk. And from the Goshen County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Andrew J. Wooster.
Earlier this morning, our instructional staff met with the group of students and shared final words of wisdom before their graduation. I told them that I would withhold my comments with them until later, and we have reached that time. Words mean everything to us in law enforcement. For example, the difference between may and shall have significant meaning in statutes. Merely changing the word or to and within a sentence has dramatic effect and impact on the elements of a crime. Specific words such as high morals, solid character, unwavering integrity are often used to describe the requirements of detention officers both in their professional and personal life. But isn't it ironic that these words that describe the critical elements of a detention officer are not taught here at the Academy? We teach you skills, processes, laws, and procedures. We cannot, however, teach you morality. Excuse me. We cannot teach you, excuse me, integrity. We cannot teach honesty or ethical character. We've done our best to show you their importance, and we have discussed the tragic consequences when they are lacking. But ultimately, the values that you possess and will use are those that you brought with you the very first day you arrived here. I encourage you to expend as much effort maintaining your character as you did learning the skills taught here at the Academy. Law enforcement is constantly under a watchful eye of the public, and rightly so, largely due to the unethical lapses of only a few officers. Abigail Van Buren had detention officers in mind when she said, "The best index to a person's character is how he treats people who cannot do him any good and how he treats people who can't fight back." When one officer chooses a path of negative actions or behaviors, that choice often affects us all. That poor choice may very well tarnish the badge that many have worked so hard to hold true. So now, as a public affirmation of your personal commitment to uphold the high standards required of our law enforcement profession, in a few moments, I will ask you to submit to the Law Enforcement Oath of Honor. I also invite all sworn law enforcement officers in our audience today to voluntarily participate together, you as Wyoming veteran officers and our state's newest detention officers, to seal your commitment in front of these witnesses to perform your jobs ethically, honorably, and with integrity. Veteran officers in the room who wish to reaffirm your oath of honor, I would ask you to please stand. Class, please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, nor the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our own actions. I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the graduates of Detention Officer Basic 22C102. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony for today. We appreciate you making the efforts to be here with us in person. We have refreshments and meal being served in our cafeteria, which you go out. Everyone is welcome to join us. Use your students, take a tour of the facility. Please join us in the after celebration of our graduation, and then please drive safely going back home. Thank you for coming.